What's up, zookeepers? Welcome back. Today, the Gorilla Squad is together. Man, we ain't been together, all together in probably about 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, man.
And we're gonna bring y'all the Steam Deck versus the Nintendo Switch OLED. Corey, y'all know he's tech, he PC. Me, I'm just a ready to gamer. So he gonna bring you what's the pros and cons of having a Steam Deck, and I'm gonna bring you some of the pros and cons on the Switch OLED. Now I'm gonna talk about the OLED model in particular because as of right now, that's the strongest model, and the Steam Deck obviously is a stronger equipment. So I got the strongest Switch available, and that's why I'm using the OLED. Now I'm gonna pass it over to 1/3 of the Gorilla Squad. Corey, you tell them about the Steam Deck, man, and welcome back too, man.
What's up, man? So, Steam Deck, it's very popular. A lot of people have it. A lot of people want it. It's a good handheld. There's a few caveats to it that some people won't really be open to talk about, but I'm going to tell you about it. We'll basically, like you said, you get the pros and cons, tell you what to expect. If you're trying to buy a Steam Deck and you just expect to play every PC game out there, that's just not a realistic expectation to have. With some caveats, you can, but you might have to go to great lengths to play them. For example, like Modern Warfare, I play pretty heavily, and that was one of the main reasons I bought the Steam Deck, so I could take my Modern Warfare on the go. And when I got it, I was sadly disappointed that that was not a thing that was going to happen. So people started hacking or jailbreaking the Steam Deck and put Windows on it, and that's what you have to do if you want to play the games.
Yeah, because straight out, fresh out the box, it come with Linux.
Yeah, it's like Steam OS basically.
Yeah, Steam OS, you're right. And so you limit it to the games that you can get with just your Steam OS. Of course, Corey then tricked out this Steam Deck. He didn't put Windows on it. He didn't enable Epic Games because he got Windows on it. He got Xbox Game Pass because it got Windows on it. And so when you put Windows on it, you actually open up your Steam Deck. So tell me what all you did to the Steam Deck. This is not fresh out the box Steam Deck.
So basically what I've done on the visual part of it, I've got a skin, I've got some stuff here to help with the traction a little bit. You flip it over and here's the good stuff. I've got the JSOX backplate, and it actually has like a kind of like a thermal pad / heat sink right here. It draws power from the back of it and allows it to kind of exude out this way. It's got extended little bumpers here for your controller. And then I've upgraded the internal drive from a 256 to a 1 terabyte. It's the new Corsair MP600 drive. It's extremely fast. Some people will tell you that the SD card, the micro SD card is fine, but you'll find out really soon when you're trying to install a 100 gigabyte game that it takes all day to download and install. But if you have a 1 terabyte NVMe drive in here, it goes just as fast as a PC. It's a smaller 2230 NVMe drive, so you have to kind of keep in mind that they do make one specifically for the Steam Deck, and they work really well. If you turn this on, we'll swipe up. We're already actually in a game here, but it gives you a lot more options with having a Windows handheld rather than the Steam OS handheld, because you're not locked down. So like Tony Hawk, Modern Warfare, Forza, all of those you wouldn't be able to play without actually buying it through Steam, and you better hope that they offer it through Steam. Stuff like Modern Warfare you can't play because it requires the launcher and so on. So that's pretty much it. We've got this game running right here.
Then we're gonna do a side by side.
Yeah.
And of course, that the Steam Deck is more so premium handheld versus the casual handheld or the Switch. Now I like the Switch because it's like a basically get in and play type game. It's not got the big learning curve as the Steam Deck. And so for like kids or somebody that's not into 4K resolution, frames per second, this is a more user-friendly operation. Now you can see side by side, his colors is more crisp, more sharp, They're dark in tone, and this is basically almost like on a part of a PS2 graphics. This is the same board.
The reflections are huge.
Yes,
too.
and so you can see with paying a little bit more money for the Steam Deck that it outclass and outshines the Switch in visual. But that's not all that I want to tell y'all about, because it is stuff that a lot of people care about and a lot of people don't care about. Taking in point, the Switch fresh out the box enable you to play on TV, whereas the Steam Deck, you have to buy a dock peripheral in order to hook it up to the TV. Now they peripheral, you can hook up a keyboard and mouse to it, but Corey, he went a step further and bought a wireless keyboard, a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse all in one combination, which make it even more convenient to use.
Because if you put Windows on here, the one downside is when you're playing a game, you have to disable the trackpads, and it makes it very hard to control getting in and out of games. And there's a lot of caveats to having Windows on here. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. Getting things to work properly is very tricky, even with a handheld companion app, which is a must-have. If you put Windows on the Steam Deck, you won't be able to get anything working. So you've got this Bluetooth controller right here. It gives you a keyboard and mouse, and you can navigate through it much easier than having to tap and try to get everything exactly precise. We were talking about the Xbox Game Pass. You know, that's something that you get free games for. So you can pay like, 10, 15 bucks a month, get all your games, and you don't even have to buy a single game ever, really. I'm not a big game purchaser. I don't buy a lot of games. Everything I play is on the Xbox Game Pass. So why not? But that's just some of the things that you have to be aware of. If you want to play a certain game, look up and see if it's Steam Deck compatible, and if it's verified on the Steam Deck. If it is, watch some gameplay footage, because you might run into some issues where the frame rate dips lower than what you might like. If you hook it up to a TV, it can do up to 4K, but that's also with a caveat. You might get 15 to 20 FPS in something like Spider-Man, a AAA title. If you put it down to low, you might get 30 to 40, really at best. If you do what they call upscaling or FSR, which basically it just takes a 720 or 1080p image and kind of upscales it, you can get a little bit better frame rate there. But it's stuff you have to tinker with, so you have to be willing to tinker, unless you're just one of those people who knows exactly what games they play. They've already got them all on Steam, they've already verified it, then the out-of-box experience will be great for you. But if you're a Modern Warfare player, Forza player, Epic Game Pass or Epic Game Store player, you might want to look at something else.
Now, and piggyback off of what Corey said when we're talking about games, because that's what ultimately these two machines does, is play games. With the Switch, you are limited to your Switch library, whether it's physical or whether it's digital. Now with the Steam Deck, you have Steam. If you download on Windows, you have, like you said, Game Pass, and you have Epic. Like the library of games on the Steam Deck outweigh the Nintendo Switch like 5 to 1. Like it's your library have increased thousands of games, where on the Switch OLED you can only use the Nintendo Switch games on the system. Now, a big thing what people do with the Steam Deck is emulating. You can actually emulate the Switch on the Steam Deck if you want to. Now, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about emulator, because you can't emulate on the Switch also. Case in point, Corey, one of the first things he ever did for me was to jailbreak my Switch. So it's pros and cons for both of them. I look at the Steam Deck as more of a pocket PC, and if you gotta have the best quality, gotta have the best frame rate type person, then I think the Steam Deck will be for you. But if you are just buying it, a handheld system that can play on TV and portable all at the same time, and you want convenience, I think the Switch OLED is for you. But me personally, I can't see myself outside on a hot summer day and I'm walking around with a Steam Deck because I'm too scared I might drop it, and it just too precious and not really fragile. That's not a.
It's heavier too.
Yeah, it is heavier, but you get what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't want to take that out.
It's a little more fragile.
Yeah, versus my Switch. Like my Switch, I throw that in the backpack and go. But my Steam Deck, I would kind of want to baby that a little bit, but because of the technology that's in it.
For me, I was a little disappointed with it because of the caveats to it. I'm more of a frame rate guy, so if I'm not hitting at least 60 FPS in something, because I'm used to high FPS gaming, yes, I knew ahead of time it wasn't going to hit that, but it still is a little disappointing when you see it firsthand, because you think, oh yeah, 60 FPS is fine, and then you play it, you're like, it's not really that good. But like, I pre-ordered the ROG Ally, and it's got some caveats too. It's for another day, but I think tit for tat, there's always a give and take when it comes to a handheld. You're never gonna have that like perfect god tier end all be all handheld, because even with the Steam Deck, even with the Ally, there's give and takes with it. So we're not at that level yet where we've just got a 4090 with an i9 in a handheld that just does it all. We haven't got to that level yet. So as we reach to that level, you know, all the consoles and all the handhelds combined, they're all kind of sharing the experience here. So it's great to see the Steam Deck. It's great to see other people getting involved with handhelds, because it just furthers the market, and that's kind of where a lot of people want to go, is taking their stuff on the go with them.
And then another thing that we didn't hit on is the battery life.
Oh yeah, now the battery life. I mean, that varies. If you turn the TDP down, which is the wattage of that it's drawing, you can get pretty decent battery life, like, you know, a couple hours. Your experience is going to vary. Mine, with playing like Forza or Modern Warfare, I was lucky to get an hour and a half. Something with the Switch, you get way better battery life.
You'll get anywhere between 2 to 4 hours of gameplay with big name titles. Now it goes up between 2 to 6 hours, but when we talk about AAA, you might get between the 2 to 4 hour mark. Of course, we showed you side by side comparison. The Switch internals is not up to par with the specs of the Steam Deck. So again, it's a give and take. Now, fresh out the box, here go the case. Hardback.
Yeah, you get this with the 256 and above though. If you buy the base model 64 gig, you don't get the case. If you buy the 512, you get an anti-reflective screen, which is worth it if you're gonna take it outdoors. This one's got the shiny glossy screen.
And then this is the same kind of case that I had to buy out the market. So like I said, coming out the box, Nintendo give you a dock. Coming out the box, the Steam Deck, you have to buy the dock out the market. Now, one thing that the Steam Deck got that the Switch don't got, tell them about the cord.
Something about right here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got your cord holder right here.
You got your
cord holder. A lot of people
holder.
don't know that. It's kind of an Easter egg that some people just don't know about. But you can put your cord here.
You can put your power cords there and take it with you.
That does have a kickstand. This one does not come with a kickstand.
Yes,
so you
yes.
Gotta buy that
you gotta buy a grip to put on your Steam Deck in order to do kickstand. And this one, of course, all of them come with pre-installed kickstand. And like I said, you can see my micro SD card, but he went a step further and put a 1 terabyte in it. And Zookeeper, basically, we just want to show y'all the pros and cons if you was thinking about a Steam Deck versus a Switch. I have had comments asking which do I prefer. If you are a PC guy, Steam Deck is your machine. If you are more of a console gamer and just used to the UI or putting the game in and play, I recommend the Nintendo Switch OLED. But the Nintendo Switch OLED does not stand toe-to-toe with the Steam Deck as far as performance, visuals, and load times. It just doesn't. That's basically a pocket PC. That's what I call it. Anything else that you got to add, Corey?
That's it. I mean, it's a great option. I really can't say a whole lot about it other than what we've said. I mean, it's not a bad handheld. I really think that if you're, like you said, a console gamer and used to consoles, ready to go, load them up, go and grab one of those. But if you like to tinker, go and grab one of these.
And you will have to keep in mind, like you said, that's That's one of the joys, basically, of a PC gamer, to tinker to make sure you can get the highest frame rate with the best visual quality. That's their joy. For a casual gamer, we just want to put it in and play the game. But for a PC gamer, that's part of their charm. So with that being said, Zookeepers, I'm Silverback. This is
CPPC Tech.
That's right.
Yeah.
And holla at your boy, man. And I'm beating on my chest. And we out.